flew from Gatwick to Tobago in just over 8 hours. Tobago is 25 miles long and about 8 miles wide. We decided to stay at Castaro Village on the north coast and choose Castaro Retreats as our base, where we were looked after by our hosts Porridge and his wife Janelle.
Hello, my name is Porridge. This is Castaro Retreat, beautiful sunny island of Tobago.
Castaro Retreats are built on a hillside on the outskirts of the village. Those with a hire car can drive up to the accommodation, whilst those on foot can take the short, scenic footpath, which eventually leads to the recently built Pagoda restaurant, with fantastic views over Castaro Village and the coast. We decided to stay in the studio apartment with its open plan kitchen diner and air-conditioned bedroom. Castaro is a picturesque seaside village, with its economy dependent primarily on fishing and agriculture. You can ask the local village people if you can pull in the evening catch. But the beach fish market really comes alive when the returning boats bring in the larger fish like kingfish, or, not to be confused with the mammal, dolphin fish, which is the yellowfish here being filleted.
Kibi, you'll be a movie star.
The fish inevitably attracts the local seabirds, including the magnificent frigate bird. And what a place to enjoy the evening sunset. Here we are, first morning at the apartment.
And it's a bird watching bonanza.
With a banana kit in the bushes down here,
pelicans out at sea, and lovely hummingbirds splitting across the tops of the palm trees.
Well, here's the first day's walk, and it's very befitting that we should be walking to Englishman's Bay.
It took us just over an hour to reach Englishman's Bay, but there's lots to see on the way.
This is sensitive plant, or a type of that we have at home. It's growing all along the edge of the road. There, look at that, the effects it has by touching it. You'd think the wind would set it off. The plant knows it's not wind when I touch it. Air plants grow on the trees and on the telephone wires. And just a really good example on this tree, growing all the way up the trunk and out of the bark. Bamboo, the size of trees. Beautiful. Here it is, our destination for today, Englishman's Beach. You step off the road and you're into a different world. In here we've just been standing around and everything we've looked at is completely different. You've heard of brambles at home, everybody knows brambles, but look at this tree. Seeing the buttress root type thing again, apparently the jumbies live in the roots. That's the ghosts.
Well, you can certainly see that it's Englishman's Bay, living up to the name because I've got the socks on.
a 10-minute walk out of Castaro leads to a lovely hill with panoramic views. And from here you can see the location of Castaro Retreats and behind the High Forest Ridge Reserve, where next morning we shall have an adventure by chance.
Looking good. Do you think it's going to be muddy in there?
Well, even the guide's got them on, so I decided to join the club.
Welcome to Tobago first, and welcome to the oldest legally protected forest in the Western world. We're going to be going in, making several stops, pointing out different things to you. Not only birds alone, but the plants, right? Insects, trapdoor spiders, right? But we're looking for birds as well too.
Darlington is one of the best nature guides of Tobago, and we felt very privileged to have him lead us through the rainforest.
the Swiss cheese plant. Then we have a species of orchid, Bromelia. Then we have the elephant ear philodendron and wild tobacco or anthurium. Over here we have the home of the trapdoor spider. It's right here. She dig that hole down inside, and there anything walk on the outside she would hear. So she just rush up and get them. Bring up the stale food in front here, and flies like to smell filthy things. They come to land on it. When they land, they stick. I'm going to try to see if I can get her out. It's not all the times I'll catch her. One of the primary trees again, it's a tapana, cutting the lumber, the trees into logs, and they roll them in the stream. Right? This tree started Bloody Bay with his name Blood Bay. There was a battle between the French, the Dutch, and the English that give it his name Bloody Bay. So Blood Bay is from the tree. From Erasmus was the first name, Erasmus, and then from Erasmus to Blood Bay, and then from Blood Bay to Bloody Bay. This is ginger lily or ink plant. Can be used like instant ink.
It's a great name.
Yes, I think everybody sounds like they love you, Darlington.
We're going on snorkeling and barbecue beach day, and the first job is to look on the boat. Roy, you seriously stop at nothing?
You've never got a camera ready, have you?
No, that was very nice.
Got it all on video for you. Hey, come on!
Thought in the eye, man.
You're smoking up marijuana, okay? Okay, Sion, where are we heading for now?
Honest Vale.
Honest Vale?
Yeah.
Yeah, what will you see there? Snorkeling again?
Maybe you're going to see some dolphins down there.
Oh, good.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
It's barbecue time now, so while we get the supplies ashore, Sion prepares the fire for a gourmet delight.
How long will this take to get going, Sion?
About 10 hours.
We're all thirsty, Sion.
I have a remedy for that.
Very nice, actually.
You want the remedy?
What's in this, Sion?
That's a bit of gasoline and kerosene and diesel.
Gasoline and diesel.
And everything mixed up.
Have you got a light?
A bit of lime.
Lime.
Punch. I think it's 1919 rum. Porridge maker.
Yeah.
Did he? He's very nice.
Yeah.
Porridge is very good at things.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. What's on the barbecue?
Chicken and monkey ribs.
Monkey ribs.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The monkey ribs are in the foil.
Like me on the life of Pi, shipwrecked, water, I can't see land, there's no land wherever we look.
I don't know what we're going to eat.
Don't need anything to eat for about a month, the size of your stomach.
Okay, how do we drive in Tobago?
No
Courage.
hands. No hands.
No hands, look. The best way to drive.
We're at Pigeon Point Heritage Park. This is where you go onto the Bucku Reef and do the tours. But it says here, this is the little ticket you get. Tells you what you can and can't do. It says no pets are allowed here. And that includes pets, it includes dogs and snakes, etc.
We just filled the car up. And how much was that for a tank full?
The car, we filled it up for a tank of fuel. This is petrol. £7 to fill the tank up. £7 UK pounds.
From Pigeon Point, we went to the Hummingbird Capital of Tobago.
The Adventure Farm and Nature Reserve on Tobago at Arna's Vale is a wonderful place to visit. It's set amongst 12 acres of organically grown tropical fruit trees, and it attracts an amazing variety of birds. 5 of the 6 species of hummingbird can be seen whilst relaxing on the viewing deck. We were lucky enough to see the 5 species, and they were patiently identified to us, including the differences between the males and the females.
Depending on the species, hummingbirds can flap their wings from anything from 40 times to 90 times a second, increasing to 200 times a second during courtship.
Ian McKay, the owner of this amazing place, was so helpful and kind. We visited twice, but would like to have visited for a 3rd time.
Today we're going on a boat trip to Little Tobago from Speyside, and we're leaving the Blue Waters Inn at 10:30 to walk across the island to see the bird life on there, and then on the way back we're going to do some snorkeling on one of the reefs. Apparently it's a glass bottomed boat, so we can look at the reef and the giant brain coral on the way out.
So what we do, we go straight to the island of Little Tobago. You will be having a guide who will be taking you onto the island, showing you the birds, part of the nature. After Little Tobago trip, we pass you over the reef, you see fishes and corals, then you get a chance to swim out snorkel who wants to. That the local birds, they feed onto the berries. Like wherever the birds leave their feces, they start growing.
Oh yeah.
So we may notice some of these on trees, on the ground, on electricity lines, on roofing. It's like where the birds feed on.
There's one up there.
Yeah. Or the bird of paradise flower. We have the banana quit as well. The hummingbirds, they go after the flowers there for the nectars. Silver thatch farm, okay?
Yeah.
In the old days or old time, people take these cover in their roofs. The local guys take these as well for costumes at carnival time.
This house on Goat Island was once owned by the James Bond author Ian Fleming. So in true Bondesque style,
We stopped for lunch at Flagstaff Hill, where the views are marvellous. Flagstaff Hill rises to 350 metres behind Pirates Bay near Charlottesville. From the top of the hill, if you look north, you can see where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Caribbean, and the little island of St Giles weathers the wind and currents. We called briefly at Charlottesville to look at the fishing boats on the beach before going on to Pirates Bay.
We've just parked up at the top on a track, walking down to Pirates Bay, which is just to the northwest of Charlottesville.
It is rumoured that Pirates Bay is so named because pirate ships used the bay as a safe harbour whilst they went ashore for water. And there is a stream that runs into the bay, so this could be true. The Tobago Cocoa Estate was established in 2005 and now produces award-winning fine chocolate. We weren't allowed to video in the estate, but we could take photographs of the plantation. The banana trees are planted to shade the young cocoa plants as they grow, because the leaves of the banana tree grow very quickly at approximately a leaf a week. High above, eternal trees provide even more shade.
This pod here takes about 6 months to get to this stage. This is a mature pod and it's ready to extract the cocoa beans which are inside. It starts on the tree as a little flower which he showed us earlier, and then they slowly grow and change colour, and then they're covered in a cloth to keep the parrots off and the squirrels off, and then they're harvested and they're taken to 2 low wooden huts, and the first wooden hut has a series of boxes in it, 3 boxes about this square, and
The beans are extracted from the pods.
and these are the beans, and they're put in a box and they spend 2 days in one box and they ferment, and then they spend 2 days in another box because he shifts them from one box to another box, and then finally there are another 2 days in the end box. All the implements in there, cracking open the pod and extracting the beans, they're all wooden because anything else will cause infection and the beans might get a fungus on them. Once the pods have been fermented, they're put into a long tray which is covered by a tin roof. They're put in the sun for 5 hours, and then every 15 minutes they're turned with a wooden rake, and that makes them dry. And once they're dry, that's the stage they reach for then the next bit of the process, where I think they're ground up before exporting. From the cocoa plantation, we've driven up the track behind it, got as far as we can, and we're following a rough path now. I think it's going to lead to some waterfalls from the river and a stream.
May have just been bitten on the nose. I'm not sure if it's swelling up or not. It feels all tingly as though it's been bitten with a mosquito.
Oh no, can't see anything. It's bulbous anyway at the best of times.
On the way back from the cocoa plantation, we called at Bloody Bay and found a hammock made of old fishing net. So I gave it a try. Ah, relaxation.
Well, we're attempting to make breadfruit pie. Breadfruit pie is one of the local dishes, and that's a breadfruit.
How do you make it?
Boil it, Cutty taught me boil it first, and then layer it in a basin with cheese, grated cheese between the layers, and then you season it and top it up with milk and you bake it.
Kingfish curry, the finished article of the breadfruit.
Breadfruit pie.
What are we doing today then?
We're walking the Gilpin Trace from the bottom to the top, and then walking back down the road.
So it's about the track's about 3 miles, and then we've got to walk about another, 2 miles downhill,
I'd say.
back to the car.
Yeah, similar.
So this first half of the trail we haven't actually done yet, have we?
No, we've got to find it. Apparently there's a few turnings that you could mistake, but we're just going to try and follow it and keep going uphill.
Yeah. Okay, so onward.
Found a butterfly's wing. So hard for us to photograph them or film them because they're moving so quickly. No, ant's nest, isn't it? Ant's nest.
What do you think it is?
I think this is chewed up wood because people came down here yesterday and we're the first people to walk across it this morning. This is all fresh, it's been done during the night. Today's Sunday and we're going out to do a snorkeling trip with Power on Buku Reef. This is Power, and he's taking us out and we're going to be towed behind his boat on a windsurfer. Is that right?
Yeah, the ropes are tied onto the surfboard.
Yeah.
What things are we likely to see, Power?
Well, you never know what you're going to see, but I think that you're going to see a variety of things that you see.
Good. Okay then. We met a very nice American couple, and he'd got some wax earplugs, and he's given them me for free because he was going home, unused by the way. So I put this in the ear, tried it the other day, and it works ever so well.
My wife says you've got very nice legs.
You've probably been told that before, have you?
Yeah.
Our first stop was the Nylon Pool, a crystalline sandbar, about a mile out in the middle of the reef. Nylon Pool was apparently named by Princess Margaret in the 1950s, when she remarked the water was as clear as her nylon stockings, which had been newly invented.
After this, we grabbed the lines and were slowly pulled across the Bucku Reef Coral Gardens for well over an hour before returning to Pigeon Point.
This is Nkosi Kerr. He's taken us down to Landsformy Beach, and he's our guide this afternoon. And he's brought us here to show us his house that he's building. And he's been building it since he was 19 on land that he's inherited from his grandfather. So tell us a bit about it. What did you have to do? Did you have to clear everything?
Yeah, well, it was like a day like today. Today is Monday, the day of Carnival Monday. And I was home there and I said, you know what, I need to go start building my house. And I came down here and I cut just the spot that I wanted to build a house on. I had some 2x4, some 4x4 from my queen actually. And my queen is what I call my mother.
Oh right, your queen?
Yeah, my queen.
Does everybody call them
yeah,
old queen?
Yeah, old man.
Old man?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
So I get some 4x4 for my queen, and I just frame it up and I start building it.
It's such a beautiful spot, and call your own.
And my own, yeah.
Is it wise to have your mother so close?
Queen.
You're the queen.
Maybe.
Inside it? What's inside? What, termite?
Termite and.
How deep in are they? It's quite soft, isn't it?
Yeah. If you come here, you see them white.
Yeah.
And we want to go too deep and damage it. Yeah, that could be young ones. They normally get brown. 3 flowers. There is a yellow one, and this is the red. The pink one is sissy. This I believe is the tree. From the leaves. Balize.
Balize?
Balize, yeah.
Oh,
it's a herbaceous plant, and it's a family like from the banana and the plantain. That the stem is in the ground and it shoots the leaves and them out. Yeah.
Does it have a flower on it?
Flowers is a red plant. It's the shape of this.
Oh yeah.
This is the shape of it. This is a dry one, but it's this shape with a bright red, fiery red.
Look at these here on this. They're even on the leaves.
My uncle and them teach me that these Latin picker. The tip of it, as it go inside the skin, the tip of it does break.
Well, that was the way down. Hopefully we can get back up. Here's the beach.
Yeah, that's right, laying eggs. Come out to the sea. Big turtle. Dug this hole.
We will call like a small one, eh?
That's
actually a big one, yeah.
And turtle eggs in there then?
Yeah, in this one, you will find turtle.
Nkosi and I tried to follow the old track from the beach. It was almost impassable, but it gave us a good vantage point from which to view the deserted beach. Once Nkosi had escorted us to the beach, we told him we would make our own way back to the village, but he was later to return.
Nkosi's mother, Queenie, was worried about us, so she sent him back down, and we've made a ladder for us to climb up the cliff. Isn't that good of him? Homemade ladder. Do you want to put your foot under that stone so it doesn't move? You can keep your foot under that stone well. Perhaps you want to go back down for him too.
Yeah.
Can you get down without me?
Yeah.
I don't want you to fall down and hurt yourself. Please don't let go of the rope.
Yeah.
Me and Ncorsi have just walked up 800 feet in about 25 minutes, haven't we?
Yes, yes.
Have you seen me? Look, not a bead of sweat on me, but look at Ncorsi. He's so...
Because I just went down and came back up.
Oh, yeah, but we've been jogging on the beach for half an hour before you came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
You're more fit.
So, we more fit than Ncorsi.
He's fibbing.
I give you thumbs up on that. Keep fit, keep strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Prepare tea. Keep getting distracted though, checking on the height of the sun for the sunset. I'm trying to make some fish cakes to see whether we can make them as nice as we had them in the restaurant last night. On the menu tonight is kingfish fish cakes, breadfruit pie with breadfruit sliced, pre-cooked sliced with carrots and cheese and milk and layered and baked. We're just outside Parle-Touvier and we're going to walk up one of the many rivers that run off the main central ridge running down to the west coast. So this one, don't know how far it'll go. Everything's very vague here, you just have to go and find out for yourselves.
This is where most people walk to, but of course we decided to walk on.
It's getting very gorge right now, so I don't know how much further we're going to be able to get.
What is it?
Big freshwater crab under there.
Oh, there, I can see the claw.
It's just gone in.
We've just been walking up the stream bed for about an hour now, and we decided to turn back now because we're not sure how far it goes. But we've seen lots of hummingbirds and an emperor butterfly, which is a massive blue, got massive blue wings about the size of your hand. Fantastic, really. So I think we're going to head back now.
This is our final day today. We parked in the top of Parle-Touvier, walking down the coastal path to Dead Bay. The Dead Man's Bay. Sea's very rough, but it is Dead Man's Bay. It's next to Bloody Bay. Apparently, it's where after the battle, it's where all the dead bodies washed up. See, I'm going first.
Yes, watch out for the snakes, darling.
The 2-mile walk to Dead Bay was very peaceful, and the beach turned out to be our favourite deserted beach.